Hi and welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be continuing with part 2 of the Red Heart Amigurumi Mermaid. I'm so excited to have you join me today. And before we begin, go ahead and hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell to be notified when I upload my new videos. Alright, without further ado, let's get started. So we're still using the same kind of yarn. And so just like magic circle. And chain 1 and then 6 single crochets like normal into the ring. Pretty much everything, in case you haven't noticed, starts with a magic circle and 6 single crochets into the ring. Makes it easy to remember your first step for every piece, basically. Alright, 6. Place your, oops, as soon as you find out where you're at, okay. Place your stitch marker in that last stitch, of course. I would recommend doing that before you tighten the circle, because otherwise it gets a little hairy. Okay, let me just get my counter all up here. Okay, and we are still working in continuous rounds. So I'm going to find that first single crochet and I'm going to do 2 single crochets in each of the stitches around. And I'm going to take and sew in that center end as I work around. So by the end of this row you should have 12 stitches. Take that stitch marker out, just tug on that center string one more time, and then put 2 single crochets into that last stitch. Now for the next few rows we are going to be doing increase rows. So after we do those 2 stitches, of course, and put our thing back, we are going to do for row 3 1 single crochet into the next stitch and then 2 in the stitch after that. So we're doing just a gradual increase. So that's 1, next stitch put 2 single crochets, whoops, and you want to have 18 stitches by the end of the round. So for row 4, we are going to put 1 single crochet in the next 2 stitches. Then in the 3rd stitch, we're going to do 2 single crochets. Okay, so 1 single crochet in the next 2 stitches, and then 2 single crochets in the same stitch. Okay, so for row 5, we are putting 1 single crochet in the next 3 stitches. Then in the 4th stitch, we're going to put 2 single crochets. And by the end of row 5, you should have 30 stitches. So now we are moving on to row 6. Row 6 is our last increase row, and so we are going to put 1 single crochet into the next 4 stitches and then put 2 single crochets into that 5th stitch. By the end of row 6, you should have 36 stitches. Okay, so for rows 7 through 12, you just put 1 single crochet in each of the stitches around. So you can go ahead and pause the video and go ahead and do rows 7 through 12, and then we'll meet back at the beginning of row 13. So for row 13, we are going to start our decrease row. So you want to single crochet into the next 4 stitches. So I already, just kidding. So there's 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then you want to do a single crochet decrease. And then start again from the beginning. Okay, so when you are done with row 13, you should have 30 stitches. Moving on to row 14, we are going to put one single crochet in the first 3 stitches and then do another decrease. 2 and 3, and then go ahead and do a decrease stitch. And by the end of row 14, you should have 24 stitches this time. Alright, so now that we have finished row 14, this is the part where we add our eyes. Now, in my last Red Heart Amigurumi tutorial, then I just used these little wiggly eyes. But I had, after that video, I had went online and had found these little 6mm safety eyes. And so I wanted to use these today. So here is the website that you can find them on. I actually bought them on eBay, so if you are interested in finding the listing on eBay for these, just leave a comment below and then I'll post that link for you. So the one that I bought was actually like a variety pack, so it has different colors in there. Just to go with my theme here, I'm going to select blue ones. Oops. And these are actually 6mm, so these are the perfect size. But it's cool because then if you make more of these or you have other projects that are small like this and require small eyes, then you already have everything. Okay, so according to the instructions then, we are going to put these between row 8 and row 9. So we are going to count back about 5 rows. So I'm going to start with where my stitch marker is. And so this is, this is row 1, so okay, to 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So I want to put it in that little hole right there. So I'm going to insert that eye like that. Okay, and let me just triple check my numbers here just to make sure here. So okay, and then these ones are really nice because then you can just put this backing on and put it on there as tight as you can possibly get it, and it's not going anywhere. Alright, so that is the first eye, and so now the second eye needs to be put about 8 stitches apart but in the same row. So I'm going to go over about 8. So let's see there. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So right there is where I need to, I believe, put my eye. And since I'm over here, I'm just going to triple check to make sure that is also the same row. Yep, so that is about the same row. And so just like with the other pattern, it seems like they're going to be far apart, but that's because we haven't added everything else. So you just want to go ahead and add that backing or finish gluing. Excuse me. Finish putting those eyes on. And then we can see that no matter what, these eyes aren't coming out. So now we are going to move on to row 15. And at the end of row 15, we are actually going to go ahead and stuff that as well. So, but until we get to that part, we want to single crochet in the first 2 stitches. And then do another decrease. So on every 3rd stitch, you are going to decrease. Okay, so now that you have finished row 15, then you should have a total of 18 stitches. And now we're going to go ahead and add some of that fiber fill into the head section. You just want to make sure that you leave a long enough little loop so that you don't accidentally pull the loop out. Ooh, I got a little cat friend again, it seems like. So, and again, you do not want to stretch any of the stitches when you do this part. So now we are going to continue to row 16, and this is the last row for the head portion. So we are going to continue with a slight decrease, and we're going to just put 1 single crochet, and then we are going to decrease. And we're going to do that all the way around. So 1 single crochet and then decrease. You can like take your other hand that holds the yarn, and you can actually push the fiber fill down so that you can crochet into those stitches, because otherwise the fiber fill can get in the way. Okay, so as I mentioned, this is the last row. So we just need to leave ourselves a long tail to sew this onto the body later. Alright, so now we are going to move on to the wig base. And for this, we are going to choose the color of yarn that we are going to use for the hair of our mermaid. So I am choosing to use the red that's provided. And so for the wig base, you need to start with an adjustable ring. And then you need to work 8 half double crochets into the ring. So that's one. Oops. And just as a little reminder, to do a half double crochet, you yarn over, pull up a loop, and then you pull through 3 loops. Alright, so then we are going to take and close our ring. As tight as we can. And then for this particular piece, we are not going to do it in a spiral. We are going to actually do rows. So you want to go ahead and slip stitch into that first half double crochet. And then take your tail and pull that tight. Okay. So now for row 2, we are going to chain 1, and that one does not count as a stitch, and we're going to put 2 half double crochets in every stitch around. And I am going ahead and sewing in the end in the center as I go along so that I don't have to sew it in later. Right, so you should have a total of 16 half double crochets in that second round. And then we are going to go ahead and slip stitch into that first half double crochet to complete that round. So for row number 3, we are going to chain 1 and then place 1 half double crochet into that first stitch, and then 2 half double crochets into that second stitch, and repeat that all the way around. When you are done with row 3, you're just going to once again slip stitch into that first stitch, as so. And then for row 4, you're just going to continue to do the increase. So you're going to chain 1. This time we are going to put 1 half double crochet into the first 2 stitches, and then double it up on that last, or on the third stitch rather. So this is the third stitch, so I'm going to put 2 in there, and you want to do that once again all the way around. And just make sure that you're doing half double crochets. I know we have done single crochets so far that this entire project, and so it's so easy to get confused and to do single crochets. So just every so often just triple check and make sure that you are doing the half double crochets. Okay, and then slip stitch into that first one. For row 5, we are going to chain 1, and then we are going to do 1 half double crochet in every stitch around. Okay, so for the last 2 rows of the wig base, for rows 6 and 7, we are going to chain 1, and then we are going to put 1 single crochet, so we're back to single crochets in each stitch around. So if you would like to go ahead and pause the video and then come on back when you have finished the wig base. Now we are not going to do the actual hair in this video because that is the very last thing that we do according to the instructions. So that is we're probably going to do the hair before we attach it to the head after the entire body is assembled. I'm like seriously so excited, guys, about this project. Like, it looks so cute already, and it's just in pieces and parts. Then just slip stitch to that first stitch, and then leave a long tail to sew on. And that is the wig base, or the wig cap.